Bam.
Hello, everyone.
What it do?
I'm Nelley J.
It's Faheem.
And we're back.
Back, zoned in. Zoomed in.
Zoned in. And this is a special episode, which will be All Last Dance. Now, The Last Dance was a 10, I would say, documentary series put on by ESPN that kind of highlighted the last dance of the NBA Chicago Bulls. I would say probably the best team in the 90s. They won. I'm just saying, right? People always, I'm saying for the ones who don't think they are, I'll put it out there. I think Reggie Miller said his team was better than the Bulls. But anyways, in the final, Faheem's face. I'm just saying he thought that. But for those, to me, the best team in the 90s, they won 6 out of 8. And with MJ there. And, we want to kind of discuss just that entire documentary. Because, again, without sports, I think that documentary gave the sport fans something to look forward to each week, right? I think Instagram, Twitter, everyone, every night was like, it was amazing seeing all the feedback from the documentary. So we're going to go around the room. We'll start off with Deebo, and we'll discuss pretty much, I want everyone to kind of give me 2 things, after 2 questions. Number 1, what did you what was your overall feedback or, of the documentary? Did you like it, not like it? And also, what did you learn from it? Because I learned a lot from the documentary about just being a champion and being a winner. And of course, third question is, what did you learn about MJ or the Bulls that you did not know before, that you learned from the documentary itself? So Deebo, your first
I absolutely loved it. I would say I knew 85% of what happened in the documentary going in. There wasn't much I didn't already know. Things that I took away from it was that I was surprised at some of the stuff that Scottie Pippen did. I looked at him as my ratings for him as a teammate went down.
What? So I'm with you on that, Deebo. Actually, I'm going to go with also, what do you think of him as a leader?
Again, that went down.
Right. Me too. So, okay, maybe we can go around the room.
This isn't the last dance. This is about to be the first argument.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's fine. So we'll come back. We'll table the Pippen discussion because definitely something you want to cover.
Also, I rated people who I gained more respect for. Phil Jackson,
right.
Steve Kerr,
right.
John Paxson,
right. Dennis Rodman, right. Okay.
Ron Harper.
Yeah. You might as well throw in Bill Wellington now.
Harper.
Mark Price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got because I watched a lot of games in the 90s, but I didn't have the analytical brain of a basketball player yet to know and understand what those guys were really doing. So to watch the documentary, it made me rate a lot of guys in the 90s a lot more.
Right.
But yeah, again, I loved it. Horace Grant, another guy who kind of went down.
He's in the Pippen category, right?
Pippen category.
All right, me too. Okay.
Awesome. Jay, up. You're next, buddy. Your thoughts. So we're asking you, what did you gain from the documentary? Did you like it? Yes or no? And what did you learn that you had no idea beforehand after watching the documentary?
Well, first of all, MJ opening up his life in this way was huge because a lot of people didn't know a lot of stuff about him, even from the stuff about his father too. All that stuff. Nobody knew all that, which he really opened up, and not even just people in your generation now, even the younger people and the younger players that are in the league. I hope they watch this, and it lights a fire under them to want to be like this, because a lot of these guys now are just flakes. And they have no heart. That'll definitely give to MJ. I have another thing about my GOAT debate that we're going to talk about later, but Pippen was the glue to that team, whether you like it or not. And I don't care how much of a bad teammate you think he was, it was MJ, Pippen, Rodman.
Right.
Without Pippen, I don't think Jordan wins. I think maybe he goes 50% in titles.
That's fair.
And
Maybe.
vice versa. And
He
vice
may even
versa,
go
right?
2-6 for all I know.
Hmm.
And vice
And also
versa.
vice versa. I think they both, like, you agree. Like, I think without Pippen, without Jordan, they both were like a teammate, right?
But the big thing is Pippen was that middle guy between, because Pippen was good friends with Rodman, but also good friends with Jordan.
Right.
And we knew that Jordan and Rodman weren't like that. So he kept that together for most of the 3 seasons that they were together. Again, I didn't watch much basketball in the 90s.
He did that for most of the team.
So,
but that's what I'm saying. Pippen is a great teammate. And without him, I don't think the Bulls win.
Okay,
I'll give him 2 titles.
I will table that because something he did when MJ wasn't there, when he couldn't get the ball. Remember when they gave it to Kukoc and not him, and he said he wasn't going to go back on the court.
Yeah, but Jordan yelled at Pippen for taking a final shot back in the day.
No. But I'm saying, though, when Pippen was the leader, right, and Phil Jackson had to play for the last second of the game, and the ball was going to be given to Kukoc to score the winning basket. And Pippen was upset that he wasn't chosen. Yeah. So instead of going and being a teammate, he sat out. He sat out of that game.
Yeah, he owned up to it later, though. He apologized.
Yeah. Well, I know.
And how great were they when Pippen was when he was the leader? They were still great.
No.
So you know what made me really lose ratings for Pippen? When what's his name? Bill Cartwright. When Bill Cartwright told the story about how like what he did brought him to tears. When I heard that, I was like, damn, Pippen.
Exactly. So that situation, Jay, so what's your thoughts on that? Saying that Pippen's the glue, if he was the actual glue of the team, why would he then not sit? Well, remember, they're in the playoffs. This is like a playoff game, and the game, I think they're down by 1, right? And Pippen decided because the ball wasn't going to be his to shoot, he said he didn't want to come out on the court at all.
That destroyed.
He has that MJ mentality because he's been playing with him for so long, and now it's his turn. He feels like, okay, Jordan's gone. I've been the guy waiting in line for 3 years. I want that shot every time now because Jordan got that shot every time over him.
He didn't. He gave it to Paxton 1 year when they won.
Yeah, 1 year. That's even more fuel. He gave it to Paxton over Pippen. This is what I'm saying. Like Scotty wanted to be that guy.
Okay, So Pippen put himself above the team, right? In regards to leadership. So what your point about Pippen is the glue and all that, I actually agree with you. I still think Pippen is one of the best two-way players. It's me and feeling about or doubting Pippen's leadership and looking and taking his ratings down a notch has nothing to do with his playing ability. Everything on the court, we're all in agreement. I'm pretty sure we all agree. The problem
is his teammate as a teammate.
If what Pippen did in a regular season game against the Knicks on a Sunday afternoon when that game meant nothing, and he said, you know what? Instead of going to Tony, go to me, and he sat on the bench, I would for sure, I'd bypass that. I wouldn't even think, I wouldn't even knock him down a notch at all. Tell you,
you don't rate Rodman at all.
Hold on. My point is, the man, it's when he did it. You can't do something like that you can't put yourself in the playoffs. You can't do that. That's going to haunt you, your career.
So do you rate Rodman at all?
He would do it again.
Oh.
Do you rate Dennis Rodman at all?
I do, but why would I not?
He went to Vegas after a playoff or before a playoff game or after whatever.
That to me,
he went to Vegas.
But hold on. He went to Vegas, but his team. It's not like he went to Vegas and his team was playing and he was in Vegas.
He went after a game.
And he got permission.
Mind you, though, he did his job. He did his job. His job is to be there when the game was on, and he got permission. Exactly.
If Pippen's up there, they win maybe 1 title, if that.
But you know what? Listen, I agree. I think Pippen definitely was good cop, bad cop. That's what MJ and Pippen.
Yeah, he had to manage the relationships between Jordan and Rodman.
For sure. And again, to me, Pippen is very valuable. 100% valuable.
That, though.
That's part of him being a teammate. He had to manage the two biggest egos in the room. He had to be that middle guy.
No,
Rodman's his first. Yeah, he had to be that guy. So he's a great teammate because he had to manage MJ, who's the god, and then he had to manage Rodman, who's the bad boy that's making all these media headlines about marrying himself. Like he had to manage everything.
He's still a great teammate. He's just not as great as I thought he was.
Right. So, do you think he's a franchise player, Jay?
Like in the 90s?
Yeah. Do you think he's a number one option?
And when Chicago didn't have MJ, he was, and they won 50-something games.
And then in the playoffs, when his team needed him, he sat on the bench.
Well, they got to what, the East Finals? I don't remember.
Yeah, but
They got pretty far.
So again, to me, listen,
not a
Jay,
number one
I
option.
will guarantee you, Jay, if remember, MJ respected the system that Phil created. Keep in mind, MJ believed in the
Phil
system.
didn't create it.
Right? Now, MJ
That's
has
true.
proven, even in his rookie year, he's proven to be able to make big shots when the game's on the line. That's what he's proved. Okay.
Who,
Jordan, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but Pippen never had that
proved
chance.
that. But listen, Pippen
what-
again. Pippen's shooting Pippen was a good shooter, yes. But I'm saying is that MJ in tough scenarios has proven that game. If you respect your coach and your coach says, "Hey, I have a play here that will give us the best or the highest percentage chance to win this game," put your ego aside and respect your coach. At the end of the day, yes, there were times where MJ was like, "Yo, Phil, I ain't doing that," right? But guess what? MJ to me was also on the same level as Phil Jackson, where he was a GOAT, so he can do that. Pippen was not the GOAT, so he's understand
Pippen was
that
hands down the best player in that team.
But he
was.
wasn't much.
He was.
In the
He wasn't the
documentary,
GOAT.
didn't they show what's his name? Didn't they show all the clutch
Kukoc.
shots that Pippen missed and all the
Right.
clutch shots that Kukoc
Kukoc
shot?
made.
that
That's what I'm
Kukoc
saying.
made?
That's
So
what
it's
I'm saying.
like Phil
Pippen had
trusted Kukoc more in that situation.
Exactly.
And
Kukoc would make those
Kukoc
shots.
hit the shot just to show that Phil knew what he was doing.
Right.
Okay, but you're gonna let one game ruin his whole reputation.
No,
of being
no,
a
no,
great
no.
teammate when for 6
No.
years he did nothing.
Yeah, I
but was
will.
the glue guy.
I
But
will.
to me,
Okay.
Jay, right? This is the thing, right?
So then you can't rate LeBron when he didn't shake hands when they lost to Orlando.
LeBron when he didn't shake hands to Orlando.
Remember when he walked right off the
cried,
court?
right? He cried. Did he cry?
Cried.
That's
He
why.
cried on the
He
way
was
out
crying.
too.
He was crying.
Cried and he walked out. Didn't even shake hands
Yeah.
with Dwight Howard. Nobody. But you rate LeBron.
I don't have a problem with
So my issue.
I have a problem when your team needs you and you decide you want to sit on the bench.
And then
That's the
next summer he had a TV show where he's like, "I'm leaving to go to Miami," and you
I have
still
no
rate the
problem
guy.
with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Spitting, and he did it in
Because I rate
Cleveland.
Me?
LeBron, though.
Come on.
So to me, I guess my opinion is this, right? My thing is that you fight your way to the playoffs. This is the win. This is the game on the line. Your team needs you the most, right? And even Pippen said it. Pippen said he was sorry because he knew. Remember, you're the leader of the team. Imagine MJ saying, "You know what, guys, I'm sick. MJ's flu game. I'm sick, guys. I'm sitting out the game." No, right? At the end of the day, and again, I think what Pippen did in that game without MJ sitting out, I think he made up. I think he did redeem himself, folks, in Game 6 against Utah in the last dance. Him playing with that back injury showed me that he learned that, guess what? I don't care about my back right now. I need to be other for my team. So
Yeah,
he redeemed himself in the last dance when his back was spazzing. And a back injury, guys, is the worst. When your back is hurting like that, you can't do nothing.
There's
He
only
was
one
still
thing I
making
don't rate about Pippen. One thing. It was the fact that he signed that contract and then he held out 5 years later.
43. That's dumb.
That's his fault because he signed that stupid contract. I mean, he made
More
more money in
bad
his career.
teammate stuff.
He made more money in his career. But he made more money in his career than MJ. He made more money than MJ did in his career.
Right, but that's still a bad
Contract.
teammate, though, to like do that to your team after.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't rate that. That's the only thing I don't rate. But that
Okay,
wasn't
But
on the court. That was off the court
For me,
stuff.
it's
I'm
an
saying on the court.
accumulation of things.
Right.
It's not just that. It's an accumulation of these.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
and
It's that
added
in
up
one
together,
game.
ratings go down for me.
Right.
But again,
He was not the great teammate that I thought.
If you guys can't glorify LeBron because it's just like he has so many
I do
things
not.
throughout his career.
But
I do not.
I don't glorify LeBron. LeBron's a great
when did
player, but I
LeBron
glorify him.
down
He's
like that,
human.
though.
I'm a self-proclaimed LeBron troll.
Okay, so Jay,
So I'm not the one that's out here glorifying LeBron. It's not me.
All right. So
let's
actually,
move on
Jomo.
to,
No, Jomo. Hold on, Jomo.
Yes, sir.
Your
rate Pippen?
thing that about the Last Dance.
I liked it. It was an amazing documentary from the access of footage that they had to how they put it together,
Mm.
to the way it was narrated, the way that everything from how they did filmed the documentary
Mm-hmm.
and what they used was amazing.
Mhm.
Probably one of the best sports ones ever, just in terms of content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put it this way, I think I probably spent like an hour trying to find footage of MJ running through the tunnel out onto the court on YouTube after, and I couldn't find anything. Those shots don't exist. Like, they don't show that part. You know what I mean? But amazing.
Here, Joe, I got a question for you.
Sorry,
How
go
did
ahead.
how did you feel about the MJ and Isaiah thing?
Oh, I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah,
The music
We'll get
was
to that in a bit.
amazing. Especially considering that MJ was not a hip hop fan. The way they used hip hop in it was amazing.
Mhm.
I love that. My takeaway, you guys probably didn't know, but like, I definitely lived in Sarnia, Ontario for the Bad Boy era, and was definitely a Bad Boys fan for 89, 90.
Anyone that doesn't know Sarnia is Toronto, about an hour and a half, 2 hours west of Toronto.
It's
a
a small town. It's a small town.
Population of like what, 60,000, 50,000?
Yeah, maybe 100,000 or so.
100,000, okay. So
You know
very
what's
small
funny,
town.
Jomo? I went to Lambton.
Atlantic College, you notice? So it's a border town to between
To Windsor,
Ontario
right?
and Michigan. So
Right.
you have a lot of cross sports fans, right? So when Isaiah did not make the team, that was a big deal. But as far as we were concerned then, as far as I'm concerned now, that's an Isaiah thing. That's not a MJ thing, right? If you remember how Isaiah was playing, especially to get his team to the point where they could all buy in on that bad boy mentality, like, he built up a lot of bad relationships. Right? Let's not forget, Chuck Daly was the coach of that team.
Yeah.
Not Michael Jordan. All right?
Right.
Let's not forget, Isaiah fucked up his relationship with Karl Malone. Right?
Yeah.
Not Michael Jordan. Right? Let's not forget, Isaiah was like probably the only guy you ever see on the court kissing Magic Johnson. But yet, as soon as Magic Johnson was diagnosed, he was the first one who's out. Let's not touch this guy. He's supposed to be your best, closest friend. Right? There's a lot of bad blood on that team way before you get to, oh, MJ didn't shake hands with MJ. Isaiah wasn't making that team, bro. Isaiah wasn't making that team.
Yeah, it's funny
There's way
because
too much salt on that team. Way too much salt.
I hear that, but I'd like to try. Good.
My takeaway was actually nothing from MJ. It was indirectly from MJ, but my takeaway, my favorite part that made an impression on me was his trainer. And when he talked about, and he had that scene where he was like almost crying, talking about MJ wanting to come back, right? Give 100%, his availability, right? And it's literally said, like, if someone's going to take 3 hours of their day to watch me on TV, then I'm going to give 100% every time that they're watching. Just that brief clip right there, it almost hit me so hard, because I can imagine this guy's probably still an NBA trainer, right? Players don't have that kind of attitude now. He can't even try and bring out that kind of attitude. This is a different era. We don't live in that era anymore. Nobody's trying to play their position like that. That hit so hard and deep to me. That was my favorite part. Hands down.
That's really good. Actually, you know what? When I heard that messaging from his trainer, I'm just like, imagine being around MJ. You had to be on his level or die. Like, you cannot be in the Bulls locker room and just try to just do like the bare minimum. MJ demanded greatness. If you're around him, you have to play at your 1,000% level.
All the time.
You have to.
Practice,
all the time.
Regular season, playoffs. Because at the end,
no matter what,
it's about the chip, and you won't be ready for the chip if you ever gave less than 100%.
Listen, even in scrimmage, there's a time in scrimmage, this guy was like, he was the worst. But guess what? He understood how to win a championship, and you understand where you have to be. So people call him bully, whatever you want to, but guess what? MJ knew how. Like, to me, if you've never played in a competitive sport and understand what you got to do to win a game, you will never get MJ. Period. You think this guy is the worst human being ever. But if you play in sports, and we all know, especially playing in those championship games, your adrenaline is so high. You're like a monster. You talk trash. You're like, it's competitive. Nothing personal. And MJ got that. Off the court, this guy's laughing off the court, making jokes. You saw, like, behind the scenes, I think during the press conference, you saw him and Reggie Miller, like, anger. But behind the camera, hey, what up? Good game. Like, they're chill. So, but on the court, it was war. Period.
Okay, I have a post Last Dance take. So after they spent a whole episode talking about the dynamic, coming back to Jomo's point about Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan and their relationship. And Michael Jordan, it wasn't a passing scene. It was like a good half an hour of this documentary where he was making cases for the fact to say, hey, you know what? It wasn't me that kept Isaiah Thomas out of the dream team. And because Michael Jordan,
only him.
Okay.
It wasn't only him. Yeah, it was definitely
him.
he was part of it though.
He was part of it. It wasn't only him though.
Well, he wasn't owning the fact, but he was actually denying the fact that he
But if you're gonna build a dream team, who's the first guy you're gonna call?
I think they called Magic and Larry Bird at the time.
92 dream team. You're calling MJ for first guy anybody's calling.
Well, MJ said that when they called him.
Go ahead. He said when he
MJ said that when they called him, they already picked the team. He was, I think, like he wasn't the top 5. Like they picked again, right? Remember, Magic's influence in the NBA was huge back then, and Larry Bird.
What the documentary told me though, he even said that was it Colangelo or whoever was running that team called him and said, or Jordan said to him, he's like, is this guy going to be on this team?
No. He said, who's playing? And the person said.
And the guy said, don't worry, that guy's not playing.
Right.
Exactly.
So, but thing is, did you hear just over the last day or two about the Rod Thorne leaked audio with Michael Jordan admitting on there, saying blatantly he's not playing if Isaiah Thomas is playing?
Yeah.
They have audio from like 30 years ago when that happened. It just leaked 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've been away from this, but I came across this and I was like, this is interesting. And it's actually Michael Jordan saying, so here's my thing now. So if Michael Jordan spent all this time to build this case to say, hey, it wasn't only me or whatever, why is the truth coming out after the documentary? Which makes me personally say, you know what? Michael Jordan, this is a Michael Jordan narrative where he gets to direct what we're given, right?
You know what? I will counter that because you know why? Because wait, what's good? I think, remember, right? 30 years ago, we don't know when this recording came out because before the Dream Team even happened, they may have asked MJ, "Would you play with Isaiah?" It could have been with anything, not the Dream Team, right? So what you heard.
Hold on. Are we to think that this audio possibly could be like an all-star game or a charity game? Like,
I don't know. What I'm saying is that you can't assume that what he said was about the Dream Teams. All I'm trying to say.
It was about the Dream Team.
Obviously it was about the Dream Team.
It was about the
so why are we even discussing anything other than the Dream Team?
Okay, so here's my thing.
Ahead,
my thing is this. I'd like your honest opinion on this, Faheem. If Michael Jordan declined to be on the Dream Team, do you think Isaiah is getting on the Dream Team?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, for sure he is.
No, Magic and Larry didn't like him.
They're taking a third point guard.
He could run shooting guard. He ran with Joe Dumars his whole career. They interchange all the time.
They weren't taking him.
Isaiah would he would be on that team.
They're not taking him in that Dream Team.
MJ speaks for that team, point blank, period.
They're not taking him.
No.
That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. There were other players on that team that did not like Isaiah.
Taking Isaiah.
They're not taking him.
They're not taking him.
Then why was that question ever? Why was that question even asked? Even MJ himself knew that Isaiah. There was a good potential Isaiah on that team.
Four of the main guys.
Stockton and Magic, done.
No.
Four of the main guys.
Done.
No. Stockton was great, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't Isaiah level at that time in 91, 92. He wasn't that.
In my mind, Stockton
was rated over Isaiah at that time. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
MJ out of the equation.
Hold on, time out.
The four guys had beef with
I think Isaiah is a better point. I think Isaiah is better than Stockton. However, I just think whoever created, I think like in looking back in their career, Isaiah was to me the better guard than Stockton. That's my opinion. However,
I'll agree with you.
Okay, but again, like I just think at the time they were looking for a team that would work well together.
Right,
people are forgetting it wasn't just about the players. Remember, best players don't mean a good team.
Right.
They want a team that people.
They're taking professional players and putting them on the Olympics, and
exactly.
The men's basketball is the showcase of that.
Yes.
Right.
Take MJ out of the equation. Three to four of those guys still had beef with Isaiah. He's not making that team.
They had beef with him because he was on the Bad Boys and they were bullying everybody.
No. If you watch the tapes, Jay,
Suck it
Isaiah
up,
was fighting with everybody. Everybody.
Issues with everybody, yo.
I'm not disputing that. My thing is, Michael Jordan went on the documentary and gave one narrative to the story, and now I'm hearing something completely different than what he was saying.
Michael Jordan's a liar.
He lied.
Surprise. Michael Jordan lied. Surprise.
Hold on. So if we can agree with that, maybe Michael Jordan lied on that. It kind of puts other things that we're building with the story about Michael Jordan in question. That's all.
Here's the thing, though. What? That tape came out in like 2000 something. Okay. So it's like, why would Michael Jordan paint a narrative of something that he knows is on record from 2000 something?
So people don't paint him as a bad guy?
Listen,
it's on record from 2000 something. Anybody can easily dig that up, and it was dug up.
Yeah, but this is
at the end of the day, like, to me,
paint some picture.
You know what I mean?
Listen, Jordan made it very clear in the documentary. He made it very clear. He said this, guys. Listen, guys. He said, he's like, Isaiah was a great point guard, but he said that he didn't want to play with him, period.
Yeah, we get that.
So that was in the documentary. So to me, that means in any sport, even the Dream Team. So if everyone knew that back then, that him and they won't play together, I don't think he lied. I think he just said that the Dream Team, the guys who picked the Dream Team, they picked whoever they wanted for that team for the best camaraderie. It wasn't big. And yes, maybe MJ's opinion of Isaiah contributed to it. I'm not saying no, but I'm saying it wasn't MJ's decision. He didn't pick who he wanted to play with. He said, hey, MJ, pick who you want to play with on your team.
In the doc, he made it clear to say, people think that I'm the reason why Isaiah's not on the team. And then he painted a picture to say why he is not the reason, right?
No, he didn't say that. No, we watch it. Faheem, he said, I wasn't the only reason. That's what he said, not the reason. He said, people think it was only me and Isaiah. We had beef, but there were other players as well.
Exactly.
We watched that. I'm telling you, Faheem, we watch it. I'm telling you, Raheem, he didn't say that.
Okay.
And also,
he did not say that.
Also, it's come out recently since the documentary that incident that he had with the guy in Washington never happened. The guy never even talked to him to tell him that. Like,
the bullets, right?
Yeah, the bullets. The good
the Bradford Smith.
Yeah, the Bradford Smith story, right?
No.
MJ is a psychopath, yo. It's all in his head, yo.
Well, that's what
it's funny because. Sorry, they said that they asked MJ about that during that time. So when they asked him, like, hey, MJ, so they said that they asked MJ the next game, did he really say, nice game, Mike? And he said, nah, I made that up. So he admitted that back then to the writers that he made it up.
But he was trying to portray that it did happen, but he downplayed it to the writers. But it really never happened.
Right.
No, it didn't happen at all.
So that's what I'm
who's the first guy that Team USA, that Dream Team, called? You don't think it was MJ?
No,
I don't think so.
I think so. I think so.
I think it was Magic. I think.
What?
No, I mean like
Magic.
No,
at that time you think who's the
at that
best?
time,
91,
at that time.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, at that time, I think they went. Remember,
come on.
I think you'd be
Magic guys. Magic had influence in everyone's ear. This guy was like a leader back then.
Right,
so
exactly.
I think. Remember, Magic has 2 rings too. He won 2. Jordan had 2 at the time. Yeah. So I think they're like, hey, Magic, we're thinking of creating a team for the Dream Team.
Yeah.
Who do you think will fit
Magic
well?
hadn't won a title in 5 years since then.
No, but still, he knows the player.
Everybody loved Magic.
Exactly.
Remember,
if Magic plays, everybody's playing.
He knows the players. So Magic gave them insight as to who to pick to create a good chemistry.
Yeah.
Feel me?
So
MJ was the best player, but Magic had influence in everyone. Coaches, players,
Magic
media,
kept Isaiah
everyone.
off the team then.
Pardon me?
Definitely.
So Magic kept Isaiah off the team.
Number one.
I think Magic would like, to me, he said, listen, do you want the best players or do you want the best chemistry players? Two different things.
Didn't Magic apologize? Didn't Magic apologize to Isaiah when they had that sit down about it?
I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Remember when NBA.com they kept NBA TV they kept having sit downs. They had one with Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, and
the first one was
So basically, what you're saying is Magic kept Isaiah off the team, basically, because you're saying they called Magic first.
Pardon?
Again, my opinion. This is my theory.
People, right?
But if Magic and Isaiah were boys, were they not?
Yes.
They were.
So you don't think that if Colangelo or whoever was called, you think they called Magic first? Do you not think they said, "Hey, do you want Isaiah on the team?" And Magic said no?
No, I think they said.
What are you talking about?
They're beefing right
Isaiah
now.
had beef.
They're beefing right
I
now.
don't know about that.
were
Isaiah
beefing at
just
the time,
disowned me
though.
as his best friend and told everybody in the league to stay away from me because I have a disease. Hell yeah, I'm beefing with Isaiah. Hell yeah, I'm beefing with Isaiah.
I don't think because Magic
yeah.
is the first one called, we're just assuming he was. If he was the first one called, I don't think just because he was the first one called that they already had the team like laid out. Because if that's the point, then think about it. Christian Laettner was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
He was the
Exactly.
last pick though.
Well, how do we know that?
Yeah, but JJ
Because
Redick
they
was on
wanted
the
Shaq should have been on it.
2006.
Shaq should have been on it.
Because
No,
they
no,
said they
no,
wanted
we-
one
we don't know-
college player. His
but we
spot
don't-
was reserved.
Shaq
Shaq should have been
Dominique.
there though.
Shaq should have
Shaq
been
or
there, but they
Dominique
took
could
Christian
have got
Laettner.
that spot.
Like you could have got Dominique. And there's like a lot of people that could
No,
have.
Dominique got injured. He was on that team. He actually got hurt.
Yeah, I remember that. He got injured.
Ah.
But
That's why he
again,
didn't
right?
play.
I really think it was about chemistry because we all know just because we're all good in sport doesn't mean we can all play together and mesh well together. And I think who they picked for that team, they played well
Too many
together.
people didn't like Isaiah, man, or Isaiah. Too many people didn't
Too
like
many
Isaiah.
I
Isaiah
think
1000% should have been on that team. Case closed.
No,
I
agreed.
He should have been there instead of Christian Laettner.
Nice.
Christian
sure, yeah.
He should have been there over 5 of the
Noted.
12 guys.
Noted.
Agreed, but it was a chemistry thing.
chemistry
Yeah.
thing. It wasn't just about the player. To me, like in any, especially in sports, right? We've seen team with great players and not do so well.
I think a
Right?
lot of these
So-
guys
You know
are
what?
just
It
salty that
wasn't
he was on
even
the
a
bad
chemistry
boys.
thing. It wasn't even a chemistry thing
He
because
was
they could have
salty.
worked it out because they do in the
Yeah.
All-Star games. It was a camaraderie thing.
Yeah.
I think they were all
True.
just salty that he was on the
Okay.
bad boys, gooning around the court,
Fuck
shoving guys in midair.
100%.
That's the reason you keep the guy off the team because he's playing his 100% hard. Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah, but then they.
Come on, man.
I don't.
That's the
I don't
era.
know.
That's the era it was. It was a dirty era.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know about that because think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, who was the coach of that team?
Chuck Daly.
He's
Come
the
on, we
coach
all
of
know.
the-
We all know the coach barely has a say in Team USA.
You know what? To me,
Coach
No,
don't.
but
the fact that Chuck Daly was the coach of the team just shows how much people didn't want him to be on the team.
right.
Being the
That's
coach
facts.
couldn't get Isaiah on the team. That shows there was way too much players.
Well,
that
no,
didn't
he
want
probably knew the situation. It was like, oh, Isaiah's got these problems
Yeah.
with all these guys. Like,
I
'cause he
mean-
knows Isaiah first,
And he's not getting on the team.
because he
if
it
didn't
was
want to
one
cause
guy, it'd
issues
be
with the
different.
other. He didn't want to cause issues with the other flakes on the team because they were mad at Isaiah because he was
Flakes.
running around.
The greatest players of all time on the greatest team of all time.
Nah,
Flakes.
I don't rate some of those guys to this day. I
Christian
don't
Laettner
rate.
is- he should not.
Okay, so
I agree with the Christian Laettner thing. That he had no business be there. He knows he had no business.
He knows.
He probably, he didn't want to be there. They didn't bring him nowhere, yo. He was in his hotel room the whole time.
okay,
And
so
Okay.
so
go ahead.
like I'll do
He probably
my
chill with Stockton
takeaway.
though. He probably chill with Stockton though.
So like I'll do my takeaway from the documentary. I wrote some notes down because a couple of things that I took away was how MJ surrounded himself with the older dudes, right? The importance of having older people around you, like the wisdom. He talked about how like people think like MJ's friends were old. Like he would sit around with those old guys and talk, and they give him advice and input. Like I really think a lot of players don't have that anymore. Don't have the older community supporting them. So I thought that was a big thing to take away from that. And one thing he said was that I think the person asked him, what's your thoughts of the nice person perception, like, being a nice person? And MJ said, winning has a price, and if you're a leader, has a price as well. And I think, looking back at Kobe and the LeBrons, like MJ, all he cared about was winning. And if you're on his team, you have to care about winning too. If you didn't want to win, MJ would like destroy you. And any Lackadaisi player, he was on it. So I think it's interesting how people say, oh, like he wasn't nice, but do you want a championship? Or do you want to not have a championship, right? So I think MJ was a pedigree of the GOAT. I love the fact that, Kobe said, if there was no MJ, I wouldn't be here. He's like, MJ helped me become who I was. MJ helped me create and win rings. Without MJ, I wouldn't want a ring. So I love the fact that, someone like Kobe who can say, hey, I know I'm a great player, or one of the GOATs in people discussion, but without MJ, I wouldn't be who I am today. And the third thing I think was how MJ monetized the NBA. Like this guy was a money-making machine. Like I forgot how much money he made the league, how much he monetized sneakers. Nike was nothing. I had no idea that Nike was a nobody before MJ. I thought Nike was
reminders.
yeah, like no, but I had no idea. And again, guys, okay, so MJ, when he went to the Bulls, they were garbage. When he went to Nike, garbage. All these players that he had, they wouldn't be as great without MJ. I don't care. Pippen's great, but without MJ, he wouldn't be as great as he was with MJ. Without MJ, in a lot of these people's lives, they would have been good players. Rodman was already a great player, but I think MJ elevated everything. He elevated the league. He elevated his players, his coaches, everyone around him won. You understand? So what I got from this was that MJ is Neo in my life. He is the one. In the Matrix, he can solve. He's like the Avenger of basketball. He is like Iron Man, whatever you want to call it. He's Thor, whatever you want to call it. He is a superhero to me personally.
Yeah, he was in a blessed situation, though. Let's be real. Come on.
I'm not. Listen, the Bulls again were the worst team. I don't care what you say. He didn't go to a team that won a ring 2 years beforehand. He went to the worst team in the league.
Right.
They were garbage.
And they didn't. And the thing is, they didn't start winning right away. Let's not forget.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when MJ was there, he said, "My goal is to make Chicago this team on the map."
Right. And when at the time when he said that, he wasn't. He said that before he played with a future Hall of Fame.
I know. Hey, but guess what? Pippen, when again, this is my takeaway. When MJ went into a system, into anything, he was able to monetize that, and it grew. Nike was nothing before MJ. He created and helped them become better. So again, my takeaway is this: MJ knew the recipe for success, and he helped other players be successful. That's just my takeaway.
But he played with a Hall of Fame player, and he had a Hall of Fame coach.
But guess what?
That had nothing to do with Michael Jordan.
But Pippen said that MJ pushed him.
Yeah.
Listen, imagine you played MJ every day in basketball. You will be a Hall of Famer too. So would I. So would Jay. Jay would be a Hall of Famer. So would Jomo. We all would be. If our best friend was a Hall of Famer, if our bestie was Jordan on our basketball team, we're all Hall of Famers because he pushed everyone. Without MJ, Pippen wouldn't be as great as he is. He wouldn't have. I'm sorry.
But you could make the same argument that without Pippen, MJ wouldn't be who he is. That's where I'm going.
I know that. No, again, to me,
MJ
Pippen,
says that.
Exactly. I'm not taking. Listen, my comment wasn't taken away from any other athlete. All I'm saying is that MJ pushed everybody. Period. Mm-hmm. If you play on his team, even Steve Kerr says, like, hey, like we're playing, MJ comes along and he's bullying me because he understands Steve Kerr, you're soft, right? So again, at the end of the day, to me, MJ helped everyone get better. And like I think he said, guys, all my teammates knew this, okay, about me. I wouldn't make you do anything that I wouldn't do. That's it. If I know I can go out there and work hard and want to win, so should everybody else. So all I'm saying is that Pippen is great. They're all good players. All I'm saying is that without MJ, they wouldn't be as great. And MJ knew the recipe to win. He won in business. He won on the court. He won off the court. He did. Like he's Neo.
Yeah, but okay, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying MJ. There's only so much he can control. He can't control.
I know that. Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, like if think that everything lined up for him. It's like, for instance, Kobe Bryant. Kobe played for the Lakers, but he's drafted by Charlotte. Say Kobe doesn't go to Lakers and Kobe stays in Charlotte. Is Kobe gonna have all those rings staying in Charlotte? Realistically.
So, question for you. Listen, I think Kobe would have won a ring. You know why? Because guess what? MJ could have been. I think if MJ went on any other team, I don't care. Remember, right? So this is my thing, right? Winners, like people who win, create winning scenarios. You're thinking about he went there and it lined up. No, when he went there, they said, you know what? We have a great player. We now need to step our game up and draft people to help him. So at the end of the day, MJ helped kind of influence everyone to be better. The GM, front office, everyone. Personally. Because that's what? When MJ left, the Bulls didn't win again. Like, they won again. So to me, take away MJ, they don't win anything. Take away Michael Jordan from that franchise, the Bulls wouldn't be where they are today.
Take away Pippen, Jordan doesn't have any more championships.
Pippen had 3 chances to win.
I think he would have won one. He would have won. He would have won one.
On all occasions.
If you got Dennis Rodman.
Played on a team with Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Won a ring. I don't care. Everyone says. I don't say MJ. Any team would have won a ring eventually.
Jordan, without them, when he went to Washington, he didn't do anything magical in Washington.
He was older. He was like he came back to help. Remember, like it was a retirement play. Wizards, he bought.
I mean, you make him like he's a superhero, and whatever situation he's gonna make it work out.
No, I'm saying between 91 to 98, during that time, MJ did what no one else could do, and he played great teams. At the end of the day, MJ knew how to win. Period. He worked hard in the gym every morning, worked out every day, he did all the right things. That's all I'm trying to say. It wasn't because he just won because he was lazy. This guy worked his ass off. Like, he worked harder than anyone else in the league. That's why he won.
So
Hence why when Kobe came in the league, Kobe was like, yo, MJ, let's talk. And Kobe said, MJ helped me become who I am today. I'm not saying MJ is the only reason. I'm saying MJ found a recipe to win, and he helped everyone with the recipe to win as well. And I think Steve Kerr is as valuable as everybody. Again, they're all valuable. I'm not denying, but all I'm saying was without MJ, those players wouldn't have elevated to where they are today. They wouldn't have.
Okay.
His influence was just crazy to me.
Let's go to the GOAT conversation.
All right. Well, my GOAT's MJ, and I said why I think he's the GOAT, so that's it. But also, I'll add to that, he's the GOAT to me because of his defense, too. He won defensive titles, and I think that's what makes him separate from the other GOAT's potentials, is that his defensive play and his offensive were just amazing for me, personally.
Jay, give me your GOAT.
Kobe.
Kobe? Why Kobe over Michael?
I think he was actually better defensively than Jordan. 15-time all-defensive first team.
15.
I believe it was 15.
Wade's a better defender.
Who?
Wade.
Dwayne Wade's a better defender than who?
Kobe.
I think it was 15. Sorry, my bad. 12-time all-defensive.
Oh,
I think Jordan was 9. But the thing is, Jordan has on him is he won DPOI. I think 1 year. But that was like in the 80s.
Hold on, you're saying 12 first team?
No, all defensive. Sorry, that's my fault.
Oh, okay.
So 9 times.
And like put it this way.
Okay.
Kobe won. Okay, so Jordan had Pippen his whole career. Yes, Kobe had Shaq for whatever, say 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even longer. He won there, but then he won back-to-back later on with a team that I thought, like outside of Pau Gasol, Bynum, a lot of people overrate Bynum. He was solid. He was a solid player. That's all Lamar Odom was. And then he started doing drugs.
That's all you need sometimes.
But then Andrew Bynum, like, he wasn't even that good. But I always hear people like, oh, Andrew Bynum was a stud. And I'm like, what? He wasn't that good. He was horrible. Like,
he was good for 2 years.
Maybe 2 years I'll give him. But it wasn't like he was an all-star. He was never in the conversation to be an all-star, was he?
He was actually an all-star.
Was he an all-star? Was he like a vote-in, or was he like just
actually an all-star?
He's there, yeah.
Okay, but I mean, come on, I don't rate Andrew Bynum like.
I agree.
Yeah.
Kobe won back-to-back with basically himself and like
top to bottom. That team doesn't look that spectacular.
Yeah, like Derek Fisher was his point guard. It was really Kobe.
But he scored enough threes though. Fisher had some clutch threes in those series. Like, I was impressed. Like,
but Kobe's back-to-back titles in 09.
Those teams are all right. When I think about it, Ron Artest.
They're just a bunch of role guys.
But Artest was good though. Like, he was a good player.
Solid. He was a good defender, great defender.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was almost like the Rodman of the Lakers then. Like, he was the bad boy that would,
That's a good point.
He was that kind of guy. But I'm going to say one thing, and you guys are going to be really surprised when I say this. Yeah. Because I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately.
Yeah.
If Kawhi never gets hurt, I think Kawhi would be the GOAT.
So you mean
he doesn't get hurt?
Doesn't get hurt at all?
Because he's 28 right now, and look at all he's done already.
Right.
I mean, he's won 2 titles in 2 different cities. I mean, the Clippers were probably on their way to the next finals.
Well,
it would have been them and their Lakers.
Yeah.
But I think whoever wins that series wins the title.
Maybe. Well, okay, we're hypothetical, but whatever.
Hypothetical. He's already won 2. He's won 2 Defensive Player of the Years. 2 already, more than Jordan. He's made, I think, 5 or 6 all defensive first teams, not just teams, first teams. Mm-hmm. And wasn't he NBA final? He's NBA Finals MVP, I think, twice already. The Spurs and then the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But the thing that's holding him back is like
His knees.
His knees, and he doesn't really have a loyalty to a team right now. It's like he's sort of people would put him on that pedestal like a Wade or like.
I think that mercenary thing could be deadly though. I was just gonna jump to teams and win championships.
No, I know, but he's the reason why. But even when he goes to another team, he's still winning the title. Like he's still that guy.
That's what I'm saying.
He can go to any team right now and probably make them like NBA finalists.
That's actually what I wanted LeBron to do.
And he's on both sides of the ball. He's a killer on the offense, and he's amazing on defense. Like it's
and he's a good leader.
If the knees never gave out,
I don't necessarily agree.
If his knees ever gave out, Kawhi would have been a problem to the league. I think he would have been. I mean, he's number 2 with bad knees, or number 3.
So do you think they would have beaten Golden State if it wasn't for
Golden State? Oh, back in when he got injured on the Spurs.
Yeah. Electric.
I think so. I think they would have won. I think they would have won for sure.
I think the Clippers are going to win the title this year.
All right. Jomo.
Yes, sir.
Your GOAT.
I have to give it to MJ.
Okay.
I'm very biased towards Kobe, as you know. As the transition between the old game for MJ and the current game for LeBron, but just what MJ went through with Detroit alone, it'll never be replicated. It'll never happen, you know what I mean? Like, that was the end of an era, and he survived it, you know what I mean? And he made them change, which is pretty tough, you know? So
I'm gonna lay 2. So in regards to the GOAT, you only have one GOAT, right? So I'll be honest, I'm kind of torn because I've always been like, obviously MJ, right? But there's someone else whose career I think is equally and sometimes maybe nudging. So then it comes to stuff outside of basketball, which MJ is going to have. But I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No?
I gotta hang up. I gotta hang up.
Let everyone speak their truth. Let everyone speak on what they think. And keep in mind, right? Your GOAT is based on your era.
Yeah.
So he was watching basketball before we all were.
I want to say this.
What was the NBA like in the 50s? Can you please tell me?
So you're talking about who was it? You said Kobe and his 12 defensive all teams, right? Kareem has he has 16 defensive teams. No, hold on, defensive. No, my bad. He has 11. So I counted off. Okay. I'm telling you, if you go through his resume.
His resume is probably like the second best.
Yeah,
I don't rate that era.
Kareem was good. He was good.
Put it this way. Let me ask you this.
He has 6 rings.
Oh, I don't. All back then, I just
6
don't
MVP.
Rate his era.
I don't rate his era.
He played up until the 80s, so you don't rate the 80s.
I don't rate guys that would put it this way. Kobe and Michael are the only guys that I think their games translate well in that era, their current era that they were playing in, and this era. Kareem would be phased out of this era. What 7-2 big man is still in the game? That's effective. I'm waiting.
Right now?
Right now.
Joel Embiid, 7-3.
1.
Porzingis.
Effective is an objective word with Porzingis.
Yeah, that's like.
I'm like,
he's effective.
Porzingis, I don't know, but
Porzingis has a jumper. Kareem was get down low, shoot the sky.
The game was a different time, though, right?
That's what I'm saying. Athleticism.
Go ahead.
Athleticism-wise, Kareem would get bodied.
Kareem was mad athletic. What are you talking about?
Could you imagine? Huh?
Kareem was mad athletic.
He was.
Sure, but he was slow.
He played like 20 years. You're
when he was
on the Lakers.
But I'm saying like his game doesn't suit today's NBA.
No,
no guy wants that. No team wants a guy like that.
But you know what, Jay? Don't knock a player for playing in an era. Remember, the NBA got better, right?
Yeah.
So to me, if Kareem played today, he would be as good. I think.
No, come on, athleticism-wise.
Yeah, if it was young,
you have to be because the game's changed. Remember, imagine the guys who grew up watching Jordan. it's their job to be as good or better. Because remember, you're watching someone that's great, so you're growing up in this type of like influence. You would train and become like MJ, and then people grow up and say, "Oh, Kobe's the greatest." So to me, every era should get better. That should be what it should be.
His
right?
game's getting phased out. His style of play is phased out of the NBA.
But you keep saying that he wouldn't play that style.
I disagree.
What would he play? We only know Kareem for what his game was.
No, but you only know
dominating.
Kareem for the Lakers. The Bucks Kareem is different, and I'm saying he
But the
is
Bucks Kareem,
athletic.
Not
He
even
is
that.
athletic.
but he's not he can't shoot. He's got no jumper.
You'd have to get a jumper.
Yeah, he doesn't have one. Look at Dwight Howard. He got phased out real quick. He was he could have been one of the best centers of all time, and he got phased out because he never developed his game.
Because he tried to be Shaq.
And Shaq, I don't think Shaq survives this. I don't think Shaq's game would be in this era. I don't think he'd be
Orlando
effective.
Shaq, hell yeah.
Oh no, I don't know about Orlando Shaq. No, not today's man. The defensive schemes are so much different than what they were that those guys wouldn't survive.
Bro,
they would get run up and down the court left and right.
No. If you're a big that can run, you're good to go. Orlando Shaq was definitely running.
Mm. So Faheem, like you were saying that you're torn between MJ and Kareem. So if you got to pick one, no tiebreaker, nothing. You got to choose one person off the bat. Do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know. Flip a coin.
I'll be honest. I would have to say MJ just off of, but I'm not so much thinking basketball. I'm thinking more of just the basketball and the cultural and the outside of basketball, the global impact, and just that from that standpoint, that's where I think MJ, if he takes it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it makes it, it's hard to see in regards to what they accomplished on the court to say that MJ is that much more than Kareem. But I'm going off cultural and all that other stuff. And I guess,
me, like I base it off everything. Deebo, you pick two again for your GOAT. Who'd you choose?
I'm going with one, and it's MJ, and here's why. If you look at if you take everybody that you would put into the GOAT conversation, Michael Jordan has the most accomplishments and the least significant flaws. So if you're gonna give any of MJ's flaws, what would you say? What are MJ's flaws?
He doesn't have as many all defensive teams as Kobe.
But he has a deep boy.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, like a flaw would be something that he
what are
couldn't
MJ's
do.
flaws? Like for any of MJ's flaws, you can give a counter. That's gonna just squash your argument basically.
Right.
If you want to say Kareem has the most points, you can say MJ has the highest points per game in the regular season and the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like
I just think the teams in the 90s were just not that good. The East was just
I disagree, but that's just my opinion.
In the 90s, not 89, not the bad boys. I'm saying like in the 90s.
I'm sorry, like Utah was like Phoenix, there were so many good teams in the 90s.
The East.
Knicks were good, like
the Knicks. Okay, Cleveland wasn't that
Detroit.
Good. Yeah, Detroit was good up until the 90s.
You can't compare eras. That's like saying, oh well, you know what? Like hip hop in like 2000s was not what it was in the 90s, because if you don't grow and you don't
that's true.
Appreciate it. It's all subjective, right?
It's very subjective. Because to me, to me, basketball has evolved so much, like offensively. Now it's a shooting. Like everyone score. Back then, like it was all about like driving and more like I mean, like I think the one guy said our goal was to kill MJ. Like was the Pistons? I think also Knicks. They said like their goal was to hurt him. Imagine that. Your strategy. The coach is saying, okay, guys, go out there and make sure you tackle him. Like that's not happening anymore. You know what I mean? So, and I think calls were called a lot less too. Like, I think was at the end of the Knicks game, there's one ending of the game where literally it was just block after block after block, and there was no calls at all. You know what I'm saying? And there was enough fouls happening, but they were like, you know what? It's the last one of the game. Let's have them just play it out. Like, I just think a lot of things has changed in the game now. So comparing eras and saying the best era, that's really subjective. There's no right answer to that.
Concur.
None. But I will say though, I will like mention LeBron. LeBron, to me, he isn't my GOAT. However, I think it's unfair to have him in a conversation until he retires. Like, I want to give LeBron the chance to finish his career, and then I can evaluate him. Calling LeBron the GOAT now is very premature, in my opinion. But I think, once he retires and we see his career finished, then you can say, okay, is he in the GOAT discussion or not? But doing it right now, I think LeBron is still hungry. And if he can win a ring in the Lakers, I think that will be a huge boost to his career, because he's won in Miami, he's won in Cleveland, and if he wins in the Lakers as well, he will be in discussion. But I think for me, because I'd rather see you finish your career first and then discuss the GOAT with you, I won't discuss LeBron, to be honest.
I'd be lucky to give LeBron top 5.
Why?
Why is that?
Stat-wise, he'll be probably the best, like stat-wise, but he's too much going on with his career. Where do you retire his jersey?
Cleveland.
Can you? And he did what? He won one title. Big
The title. The title.
The title. Okay.
The title.
And
now we're giving guys statues for the title. For that one title they won.
But that's home, though. That's home, right? Cleveland's
so
home.
What? It's just petty, man. It's just stupid. Like, I don't.
So the question, guys, like, do you think this era? So back in the day, players would stay in one team. The good ones, like the All-Star, would stay in one team and try to build and create something. Like the Pacers, they had a great team and they try to build their team up. But whereas nowadays, players are jumping ship. Do you think that is kind of ruining like that old school of, hey, go to a franchise and build it up?
Yeah, people don't rate that anymore, right?
Sure. I mean,
I do. It makes no difference to me. I don't care. I really don't. Look at Charles Barkley. I love Barkley. He played for 20 different teams?
Well, Philly, Houston, and Phoenix.
Okay.
That's 3.
Well, so okay. Well, my point is, look at who we're saying LeBron. How many teams LeBron played for?
Yeah, LeBron, Durant.
He played in Cleveland, then he left. He left Cleveland to go to Miami.
How many different teams did LeBron James play for, Machula?
4.
Robert Parrish.
Cleveland twice. 4. Cleveland twice.
Okay, but so 3's not a big deal, but all of a sudden 4 is like such a.
But that's not the thing. The way he did it is what makes him not the GOAT.
Okay.
It's the way he moved it throughout his career.
And you know what? That's like, I think people are entitled to that like opinion. Like for me, that's why I always say Kobe and MJ are at a different level than LeBron, only because they went to a situation and the GMs, they said, this is our star, and we're gonna build pieces around that player to win rings. And that's why I admired MJ and Kobe, because they were patient and they waited for their time. Whereas these players today are impatient. They want a ring now. They want a ring tomorrow.
Who else thinks Kobe's better than LeBron?
Me, Kobe's way better. It's not even a question.
I think, in my opinion, Kobe, to me, I would, if it's a 7-game series and I could pick between prime Kobe and LeBron, I'm picking Kobe in Game 7 to win that ring.
You're not giving LeBron the ball last second in any game.
No, you're not.
I'm giving Kobe, Black Mamba, and like he closed games. Listen, I'll give the ball to Chauncey Billups in the fourth before LeBron. Mr. Big Shot.
He's
like
not that guy. That's not his
certain
game.
players are just really good in the fourth quarter, and during pressure they elevate.
LeBron will go around. He'll go down as the best all around player. I'll give him that. Like everything.
I wouldn't even give him that.
Maybe not the defensive end, but on the offensive, he might be passing. He can score. He can do it all on offense. It's just
who's that? LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron.
Okay, yeah.
He's gonna have the stats. He's gonna have points. He's gonna
for sure.
He's gonna shatter the points. He's gonna shatter points. He'll be top 10 assists. He'll be top 10 rebounds.
No, he won't. Not even close.
Not rebounds, no. But I will say if it's
he's never averaged 10 rebounds.
I gotta pull up my stats.
Think about it. He's never averaged 10 rebounds. How's he gonna get into the top 10 all time? Not even close.
While you're pulling up, Jay, how many different teams did Michael Jordan play for?
1.
2.
The Wizards don't count. Come on.
No, hold on.
Yeah,
that was a sympathy.
Hold on.
You can't be a basketball aficionado and not
counting the White Sox.
The White Sox.
The Birmingham Bisons.
According to Jay, he played for 3 teams because he played for Chicago. He retired. he came back and played for Chicago again, and then he went to the Wizards.
Ooh,
So according to why you hate LeBron, it's the same thing that runs through Michael Jordan, doesn't it?
Michael came back, retired, won 3 titles, retired, came back, won another 3.
Who cares about the titles? It's different teams. You say once you leave a team and you come back, it's a different team.
But he came back and produced.
Oh my
he
gosh,
didn't just
whatever.
jump ship.
Okay.
If he's being petty, he's like, yo, 3 teams.
I'm showing exactly how idiotic that logic is.
Okay, so guys,
the best all-around player ever.
So guys, if we gotta pick between Kobe, LeBron, MJ, okay, it is the last shot of the game, Game 7, like what Kawhi did in Toronto. Game 7, last shot. Okay, Game 7, last shot. Who's getting the ball? If you can pick either of those 3 players, who would you pick?
Who?
Between MJ, Kobe, and LeBron.
Oh, MJ, of course.
So Fahim's MJ. Jomo, who you picking?
What shot I need?
I'm going to go with Kobe.
If I want a 3, I'm going Kobe.
You going Kobe?
If I want a 3, I'm going Kobe. If it's a 2, I'm going MJ.
No, I mean not a 3. I mean a shot. Like I said, the shot. No shot.
MJ.
Any shot.
MJ.
MJ. Jeremy, who you picking?
Kobe to take any shot at any time, anywhere.
Okay, so everyone's picking Kobe or MJ, but not LeBron. Case done. He's on a GOAT discussion.
I'll pick LeBron to pass Kobe the ball. The final play. And by the way, Deebo, to the rebounds thing about LeBron, he's got 9,300 and some odd rebounds right now, and Shaq in his career had 13,000, so he's not that far off from.
He's very far. 4,000 rebounds. That's a lot, bro. 4,000. You average how much rebounds a game?
Depends how long he plays. He'll get top 20 at least in rebounds.
Not so that's what I'm saying. Not even close to the top 10.
But he'll be better than Dikembe.
Will he?
Yeah, Dikembe's 20th on that list.
I'm gonna go with Kobe. You're saying that someone said Kobe. They take Kobe for a 3 over MJ. I'll go with MJ with a 3 over Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because MJ's percentage is better than Kobe. Kobe is a subpar 3-point shooter. His career.
Facts.
Subpar.
But for
Kobe probably took more 3s than MJ.
He's like DeMar DeRozan. He's the DeMar DeRozan of 3-point shooting.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, so the last question of the night for the Last Dance episode is, if all the Bulls players came back, that exact same team, okay, and let's put it in there. Let's say they were healthy again. Let's just say came back healthy, but they're still the same age, but they're healthy. Pippen's back is healed. MJ's had whatever. Remember, now is their last year with everyone.
Same game as Gones.
Do you think they're going to win that championship, number 7? I'll start with Jay. Jay, you think they'll win?
Yeah, I think they can go in 8 or 9, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, like easily. I don't get Jerry Krause or whoever that guy was that was running that team. That guy's just, he bothers me. I don't know why. He just thought he knew it all, and then the Bulls right after that became nothing for the next 10 years until Derrick Rose came by. I mean, I don't know. That guy just bothers me. I don't know why he bothers me. He just does. He's one of those guys I look at. I'm like, why did you make this decision? Like, did your ego get in the way because you thought, like, I don't know. You had the best player ever to play the game, and you didn't want to keep him around for another year. And he was signing 1-year contracts every year.
Yeah.
So why not just do it again until you lose a finals or until you get knocked out of the playoffs? Then you can say, okay, you know what? We're getting old. Now we can move on finally. Why not go for 7, 8, 9? It's just – I think, honestly, my last take on this, I think Jordan, what really bothers him is that he retired twice, knowing he could have shattered the points record because he clearly could have.
Oh, for sure.
I think he looks back and he's like, man, why did I retire from 98 to 03 or 02 or whenever he came back for the Wizards? Because even in Washington, he was still dropping 40-point games like it was nobody's business. You know, I think that's the thing that bothers him from his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he could have shattered points records for sure. Like,
yeah. Deebo, your thoughts? Do you think if they came back healthy for another season, would they have won?
So you mean in '99 after the lockout year?
No. So you saw how they won 97, 98.
Yeah. So that would have been the lockout year.
99. Yeah.
Definitely, because they would have been well rested.
Mm-hmm. He's like, well rested.
Especially if Pippen like decided to stay too.
Mm-hmm.
The whole
Yeah, so I mean,
team.
like that exact same team, they all come back.
Yeah.
One more year.
You're gonna win again. Especially given the circumstances of a lockout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jomo.
They run it back, and the caveat is that they're all healthy. Like I didn't see it as probable due to the age and health, but if everybody comes back and everybody's healthy, there's no way they lose. No way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm there too.
But one thing I want to point out is I hate when people go to say LeBron, it took him forever to win titles when it took MJ forever to win the title too.
Of course, I mean I hate when people that's normal though. Like it's not fair.
People seem to knock LeBron more than ever for that. When it's like MJ took 8-9 years to win one too. Like
agreed.
7.
I don't get that. Whatever, 70s.
Yeah, it took him. I mean, yeah.
Like LeBron struggled with Boston to get by them. MJ struggled with Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's very few people that don't struggle their first few years coming in. Like most people don't come into like a perfect situation where they're on like a superstar franchise. Like Magic came into an excellent situation. Bill Russell came into an excellent situation. Like outside of that, what's his name?
Larry Bird came into an excellent
situation. Larry Bird came into a good situation. But like outside of that, most people work their way up.
Yeah, it's true. It's very rare. I mean, even like Durant. I mean, he was with his team for a while, but then he jumped ship for a championship team. But I mean, I think like that team, if they stayed together and they had the right system and people around them, I think they would have won a ring there.
Even rookie year, that team was trash. For Durant.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to my point what Nelley just said about Durant, how he jumped ship. This is what I mean with LeBron. Like Durant jumped ship to get an easy title, and then like I think a couple months ago he sent something in the paper like it didn't even feel like I was part of the team. You know, because
really, he said that.
Yeah, he said that. He actually admitted he's like the 2017 team. I didn't even feel like I won anything. I didn't accomplish anything. Like,
oh, of course, like,
of course not.
Yeah, like if he had done it in OKC, that's what I'm saying. If you stay with these teams and do it with these teams, it's like it's so much better. Like jumping ship doesn't.
And I think that's why, like, when MJ cried in that first ring, it's because of what he went through. Like,
yeah,
you know, the last 7 years and beating. I mean, like losing to Boston, losing to certain teams, and then playing Detroit, losing to them. Like he really earned like that first championship. It was so sweet for him because he was balling. His dad was there. Like. You play for that moment, you know what I mean? Like so I think Durant, he was just an extra. He was obviously again, he was the best player on the court, but he still wasn't a part of that team. Like
well played glorified extra.
Yeah.
Anyways, next time we do this, I'm wearing my Scottie Pippen jersey.
Scottie Pippen. Right. Hey, Scotty's. Yeah, honestly, like I knew Scottie was really, really good, but I forgot how good he was. Like it was good to see Scottie Pippen again.
Scottie Pippen is amazing. I was looking up his highlights. Like, oh my goodness.
When he dunked on Ewing and pushed him afterwards.
Yo, Scottie, man.
He was dope. Question: is Tracy McGrady a franchise player?
Wow. Healthy.
Ooh, when healthy.
Healthy one. He's healthy.
For his career, because like it was health that put him on that track, right? But I'm saying for his career, would you consider him a franchise player? Because he had teams that were his, but is he a franchise player?
I say yeah.
I don't know.
For me, no. For me, like to me, there are players and there's leaders, and I think the documentary kind of talked about that. There were really great players, but to be a leader, you have to be a different pedigree. The Kobe's, the MJ, certain players, you just have to lead. And I don't think McGrady was a good leader.
Yeah, he had Orlando. I wouldn't say he was the number one option, but I wouldn't say
the number one option. Yeah.
Grant Hill went down. They didn't play together long though, right?
That was the plan.
Number one option.
No, the plan was for him and Grant to be a duo.
Right.
Yeah. And it was supposed to be like a 4-year run.
Right.
Grant was injured year 1.
That's what I'm saying. So that was his team though. While he was in Orlando jersey, it was Brady's team.
And that's why ultimately, and I'm a little bit biased because I just listened to an interview about Tracy talking about this, right?
Yeah.
But it was that time when Grant went down that he really went 110 and put the wear and tear on his body. So he didn't even have that to bring over when he went to Houston. And he still did amazing in Houston.
He did? Hold on. He did amazing in Houston?
Dude, Houston, when he
Tracy?
scored like how many points in like 30, in how many seconds?
No,
Yeah,
listen, when we define someone's legacy, we don't talk about their regular season. We talk about the playoffs.
Yeah. So franchise leader. Is he a leader? No.
Yeah,
Is he a franchise player? Yes.
Franchise player, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Man didn't get out the first round of playoffs.
No.
Facts.
He's not a leader. No, definitely.
He's not a leader.
I got one question to pose to all of you, and I want your input because I'd argue with you the other day.
Yeah.
Is Manu Ginobili a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yes.
Nelly?
Yes.
Without question. Yeah.
Do you want to know what his Hall of Fame chances are to get in?
What are they?
14.5% chance.
Wow.
Who gives those odds?
What?
It's basketballreference.com.
Well,
They list all these players that.
Well, I'll take the 14.5% he's getting in.
Yeah, he'll get in. I think he'll get in.
I think because of his contribution as a European player, for sure.
Yeah, I looked it up on Google. I have a proof right here.
No, I believe you.
I don't know if you can
and
see
even
it.
like on the world stage, Ginobili did so much, like globally, like not just NBA, but he was.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, question, guys. So, which player do you like? So, watching the documentaries, there's some player that not forgot, but like some player that I kind of wish were injured, and for me was Penny. When I saw Penny playing, like seeing Penny playing with Shaq, I was like, oh,
yeah,
like, yo, I loved Penny. To me, was going to be the next Jordan. Like, you know, I thought he was going to be that good, and so just kind of seeing him playing against MJ, it really gave me that nostalgic feel of like, man, I wish Penny made it. You know,
I feel the same way about Grant Hill and Brandon Roy.
Bingo,
right.
Bingo.
Right.
Those two were disgusting.
Right. I think Penny and Grant Hill are very much the same situation. Like
on the same team.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Yep. Not at the same time, but went through the same situation with the same team.
Yeah.
So both were injured. Who would you rather, the two, Grant Hill or Penny Hardaway?
Didn't Grant Hill get injured in Detroit?
Grant Hill.
He did get injured in Detroit, yeah. But who's better healthy?
I'm going
Grant
Hill.
Grant was better.
I
healthy.
want Grant Hill.
I agree.
No, I mean like Grant Hill coming to the NBA, he was a monster. I thought he was gonna destroy everybody.
Yeah.
He did destroy everybody.
His skill.
Yeah. Ankle didn't match up like that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is Kyle Lowry a Hall of Famer?
No.
We had a discussion before.
100%
I thought he
no.
would be. I think he might squeak in because he won a ring on a team that's not in the States.
No, Jomo.
Remember, remember, I'm just saying, like, if you're not, to me, remember, right? Like, I was watching something about, like, players, top.
I think he might get in.
People in the States rate Kyle more than we do. Like, they really, like, oh, Kyle Lowry. Like,
Deebo?
they think that he's so good because
I think he might get in.
In Toronto, remember, like, he was.
They let almost everybody in, man.
No, they don't. They don't let Chris Webber in. Who had a better career, Chris Webber or Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry will be for Chris Webber.
That's outrageous.
Chip.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
how many All-Stars? How many All-Stars does Chris Webber have? Kyle Lowry might have more of the same.
Okay.
True. He does.
But I don't consider an all-star as a number one or a very high thing in regards to Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't consider that.
Right. Well,
that's you. But I think Faheem, remember, who's voting, right? It's not us. It's going to be media guys, people who are within the American states. Right. And the fact that Kyle could have won a ring with Toronto Raptors, I think that alone is going to make him, like, get into the Hall of Famer. Because in their mind, he did something with Kawhi that was just amazing. Keep in mind, Kyle Lowry performed very well in the finals. Like, he was like playing him and Fred. So, but Kyle led the team.
In order to be in the Hall of Fame, though, you'd have to be. That's saying you're an elite player, right? And the way we judge elite players are teams, first, second, and third team. How many teams does Kyle Lowry have on his resume?
Like none.
Yes, any.
He has one. He has one
I think,
third team.
yeah.
How are you a Hall of Famer and there's one golden year in your career
Yes.
that at best you were on the best third team and you're in the Hall of Fame? That's ludicrous.
Listen, man, he probably wouldn't make my Hall of Fame, but yo.
I don't know. I think the people who are voting for this, I think you'll get in squeakily, like it'll be close. But again, it depends on who is on the ballot, right? I think it's about what 5 guys or 7 guys on the ballot. So depending on who he's against that year, he could get in.
I mean, yeah, I'd say I give him like 20, maybe 15, maybe 20 years down the road, maybe even longer. I think there's a lot of guys that we could say like don't have
Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson. Oh.
Over 20,000 points will not get in the Hall of Fame. Only guy.
How many teams does he have?
Probably not many.
Much. Come back to Detroit.
He's got eight All-Star appearances.
Utah.
No, but how many teams? I'm not like how many times did the league say you're one of our best 15?
Yeah, I don't think he had any. He was once. He was one like Kyle Lowry. No, not
13.
Probably 13.
Yeah, so I guess Kyle gets the edge because he got the ring, but like guys like that.
Oh, but not just the ring. He got a ring for Canada. Like that's huge for him.
But you know what though? I see what you're saying though, because like if a man like Kevin Johnson ain't in the Hall of Fame.
But did he help lead a team to a ring though?
Kevin Johnson is a way better player than Kyle.
I agree. But did he help his team win a ring?
It doesn't matter. Look stat for stat. Like it's not.
But not about stats though. It's popularity. It's beyond just stats. Hall of Famer is the impact of you to basketball. It's not just stats.
No, the people who I'm sure the people voting know the difference between a Kyle Lowry and a Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying no, but I'm saying like if Kyle's on a ballot and the players on there and his players that don't have any rings, but he has rings, he has a ring, he might get in.
What do you say?
What I'm trying to say.
Kevin Johnson's getting in before Kyle Lowry.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I looked on Basketball Reference as Jomo asked me to.
Yeah.
It's actually sad. Like I may be against myself here, but it says Kyle Lowry's Hall of Fame probability is 85%.
I told you. I told y'all.
I'm talking about over guys.
See,
I'm gonna throw some names out there. I'm gonna throw some names out there.
I knew it.
I'm gonna throw some names out there right now.
I'm telling you.
What Kevin Johnson?
I don't see him on this list, but he's ahead of Chauncey Billups.
Hold on, stop there.
No way. Okay, that's what I'm like. Really?
Oh, is that right?
He's ahead of Joe. He's ahead of Joe Dumars.
The Jordan stopper.
Hold up, Faheem, your thoughts.
He's ahead of Tim Hardaway.
Oh wow.
He's even Rodman already got voted in, so we don't worry about him. He's ahead of Kevin Love.
Oh, that's
yeah.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
He's ahead of like Paul George, Dane Dollar.
Wow.
Yeah,
He right now is ahead of Klay Thompson.
That's right.
Faheem.
Eat it.
Faheem, your thoughts, buddy. Your thoughts, Faheem, on that number.
I still don't think he's deserving of it, but that's what this is saying.
Yeah.
He's gonna make it. I'm telling you, he's gonna make it, y'all.
Remember, you said there's an 85% chance he's gonna get in.
You're taking the 15%.
I'm taking the 15. He's not.
Wow.
Oh, you man! Listen, they love Kyle.
This is where I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, facts.
All right, y'all. So,
all right.
Thanks again for this episode. Very entertaining, hilarious on feedback. Any last thoughts for him?
No.
And if you haven't seen The Last Dance, make sure you watch it, please. It is definitely worth. It's sports. It's a sports fan. Any sports fan, you really enjoy it. It's worth it.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks again. This is Nelley J. And thanks special guest Deebo and Mr. J.
Yep.
Thank you.
Jomo behind the scenes.
Go Isaiah.
In the scene this time.
Bad boys for life.
Arnia.
Peace.
Bye.
That was a good one, Sarnia.